Well, Merry Christmas to all of you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Those are two of my most favorite words in the whole language, Merry Christmas. It's a wonderful feast, isn't it? A wonderful time. And it is certainly a wonderful time. And Christmas is here, and here is the nativity scene. But just yesterday, there was an Advent wreath here. And 4 candles marking the 4 weeks of spiritual preparation for this day. And we here at St. Paul's Parish have been preparing during those 4 weeks, spiritually preparing to be able to say yes to this. And we were looking at the example of Mary, the Virgin Mother, and the yes that she gave to the angel Gabriel to be the mother of Jesus. When she said yes to the angel, that was an incredible yes, wasn't it? I mean, can you think of a better yes? And that would we say would be her best yes. And we've been reflecting on what's the best yes you and I can give in our lives. What's the yes that you can give, that God's calling us to give, and to be prepared to make a wonderful yes. Well, now here we have the nativity scene. Advent is over, and it's time for us to think about the yes that we're going to make. But let's reflect for a moment on the wonderful Christmas story that we just heard. You remember it. Mary and Joseph are going to Bethlehem. They lived in Nazareth, but because Joseph, his family is all from Bethlehem, so that's where he has to go for the census. Many of us experienced that. Many of us were born and raised somewhere, but now live here. But if you went back home, everybody would know you, maybe. And so Joseph is taking Mary back to Bethlehem. He's leading the donkey, and she's riding upon it, and she's ready to have a baby. And as they pull into the town, Joseph is looking for the best Western to have a place. Or maybe the best Middle Eastern. And as he goes into the best Western for a room, remember what they tell him? No, Joseph. Not here. They said no. And there can be lots of reasons why they said no. Maybe they were just too booked up. Maybe it would have been too difficult to accommodate them. Maybe their no had something to do with the fact that they knew Joseph, and Joseph's fiancée is all ready to have a baby, and they're not married yet, and maybe it's just best, Joseph, that you stay somewhere else. Maybe in those small towns 2,000 years ago. So sometimes scandal can cause us to say no. I know that's an experience that we have today. Scandal in the church can make people say no. But then there was those that said yes. And they provided them a little stable, a little cave. And I'm so grateful that they said yes. And here's the good news is that Mary and Joseph, but mostly Jesus, is content with any yes we'll give. I mean, the best Western would have been nice, but God is so willing to accept any yes that we're willing to give. So tonight I offer you again Jesus. And I invite you to say yes or no. Choice is always before you. But I invite you to think again about Jesus and to say yes to him in a new way. To say yes to him as a Savior. To say yes to him as Savior. And I know we might have lots of reasons why we've said no to God and said no to religion and all of that. But I want you to think about Jesus as a Savior. He's a Savior. When I think about a Savior, that means that something in me needs to be saved. And as I look at myself and stand in the mirror and look at all the result of some decisions in my life, I could say, I could use a hand. I could use someone to lean on and to assist me. I need a Savior. And that's what he's come to be a Savior. So I invite you to say yes to him. And some of you have already said yes and made big yeses in your life. And I invite tonight would be a night where you renew your yeses, whatever those yeses may be. Some of you have said yes to marriage and family life, that tonight you would renew that yes. That would be a big yes that you would make again, or to whatever commitments you've made in your life that I've made in mine, that we would say yes to them again. I also invite us tonight to think about Jesus and Mary in that little stable, that little barn surrounded by farm animals. I mean, I don't know about you ladies, but I'm sure you dreamt about having a baby in a barn. I can't wait for that to happen. No. But Jesus is willing to go into those places, isn't he? He's willing to go into that. Maybe I need to open up some rooms in my heart to allow Jesus to come into some places that I really don't want him to come into. There might be some spots in my life that I've closed off and I'm not happy about those places. I might be ashamed of these places in my life, but Jesus wants to come into those places to bring restoration, to bring healing and forgiveness. Maybe it's saying yes to something like that in your own life. I know for me personally, I would like you to pray for me and to pray for our church, that our church would open wide some doors to let Jesus into some places to bring some healing and restoration and holiness and reform. Because the more we keep those doors closed, it's not going to get better. And when we open those doors, healing can take place, and it can take place in my heart and yours too. So I invite us all to say yes in many different ways tonight. But again, I just offer you Jesus. It's Christmas night. He has come among us, and he's looking for a place. He's looking for a place to stay. And I invite us to say yes, like those people that said yes to Jesus and have been for 2,000 years. So I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, and may Christ find a happy and blessed home in you.